Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man, at your service. Today, resplendent in the Royal Stuart, bold, deep, vivid, red. Something a Spartan would wear going into battle, if a Spartan wore a kilt. Anyway, we'll come on to that in a wee minute or two. How are you all? Hope you're doing well. It is now blasting with sunshine. It's very early morning for me. It's gorgeous blue sky, gorgeous sunshine, and yet it's freezing cold. How's that happen? What's going on there? I've been outside, I've just seen the sun, great big ball of fire up in the sky, streaming down, bake. And it's like a ground frost, and it's like, oh, Jesus. What's going on there? Anyway, folks, what this is now, you may have noticed the videos are sort of not coming as quickly as I'd like to do them. Probably quicker than some of you actually want them to be. But it's because, yes, I'm working from home. Oh, the joys of lockdown and a laptop that's actually working now. So yeah, I've been this week very, very busy. We're now on Thursday. So I've been working all week and doing pretty much, what your working day would be. And you know what? It ain't that bad. You don't want to do it at home. The whole thing of work intruding on your citadel, your fortress, Kilt-Mansion, it's anathema to me. That's a good word for an early morning, anathema. And but it ain't that bad. It isn't that bad. Currently, I'm the only one of my team who's able to work as well. Oh, wouldn't you know it? So not only have I returned to a monstrous backlog of stuff, which I can't go into, but there's urgent things coming in left, right, and centre. And oh, you're back online. Oh, great. Can you? I'm like, I'm gonna do what I can do. I mean, look like a hero, but I try to run away from work and shirk responsibility like the best of them. No, I do my best. But yeah, so during the day I'm busy. When I would be doing lots of videos and stuff, and preparing for other videos. So they're coming a bit later on. Listen to this. I'm going to discuss this in a bit. I also want to say that a few videos ago I said, oh, we're on 590 subscribers now. Wouldn't it be great if by the end of lockdown we got to 600? Believe it or not, we got over 600 within that 24 hours of me saying that. So if that's some kind of power that I have, please, can I wake up tomorrow morning and be a millionaire? Please? The cosmic gods that decide our fates? Folks, listen to this. But anyway, a great big thanks to everyone who's come on board, all those who stayed with me all this ridiculous time of inane, irreverent videos. But honestly, I've said it before and I'll keep on saying it because I can't say it enough. It does mean a hell of a lot to me that people follow this and people show any kind of interest or derive any form of entertainment from the cheap seats over here, But anyway, I've been discussing sword and sorcery, fantasy movies a little bit, and inevitably yesterday, and I knew it would, it drew me back into the realm of 300, the Spartans, Gerard Butler, for Sparta, just south of Scotland, And I love the film. It has its detractors. I love its visual quality. I love its storytelling. I love its completely macho excess, its heroic overdrive. I love its music. This to victory is just to die for, But there's huge controversy over the music, which I have to address. When this film came out, I reviewed its cinema release, I reviewed its HD release, its Blu-ray release, then another warts and all fantastic release, which loads more extra features. I reviewed its sequel as well, 300 Rise of an Empire, and I got all the art of books, I got lots of the gear, there's a Spartan helmet there. But I really bigged up Tyler Bates' music for it, which is outstanding and fits the film with power, sort of, Mediterranean, quasi-Middle Eastern, rock, grunge, aggression, and lots of sweeping, huge, haunting orchestral moments with what became, pretty much Troy and a lot of other things ushered in, wailing female vocals. Gladiator it was with Lisa Gerrard in collaboration with Hans Zimmer, and her fantastic crooning, vocals over the wheat fields and Maximus dying and all this sort of stuff. A lot of medieval or ancient sword and sorcery, action, fantasy romps would then adopt that sort of thing. Lord of the Rings as well. And, so you've got all that kind of thing going on in this. But the big controversy was, and I didn't know it at the time, and when I reviewed it first time, I massively gave the soundtrack loads, and I gave Tyler Bates tons of plaudits. He'd nicked a load of music, literally note for note, lifted literally from Elliot Goldenthal, the great Elliot Goldenthal score for Titus, the Shakespearean Titus Andronicus. But I'd never seen Titus. I still haven't seen Titus, and even though I'm a huge devotee of Elliot Goldenthal's music, I haven't got the soundtrack to Titus. And then I began to hear, on the film score fans grapevine that no, Tyler Bates has ripped off, and I thought, oh no, I've been bigging him up, and some of my favourite tracks might be not from this, might be from Titus. Luckily, my favourite tracks aren't from Titus, like what you just heard, To Victory there, which plays over the great sequence of the captain played by Vincent Regan, who's King Leonidas' second in command, his son, and what's his name from Prometheus and loads of things. He plays the android in all the new Alien movies. I've forgotten his bloody name. Typical. Michael something. He was in Assassin's Creed as well. Michael Fassbender, there you go. Michael Fassbender, who's great in this as Stelios, with his long hair, which is clearly a wig, and a lot of them have got painted on abs as well, sort of CGI floaty abs. But my God, they've worked out. That's another video, because I did the workout for it. I've done the whole Spartan movie workout, as well as an abridged, revised Spartan original from the ancient times workout. Did that. That was hellish, to be honest. Well, a lot of that was starvation and beatings, but that's another thing. You know me and tangents. We're going all over the show because I've got to speed up because I've got to go into work soon. I've got to go into work, which is just there. Just there. My office is there. I just swivel around. There you go. But yeah, so huge outcry came out that he's plagiarized someone else's work, which is a huge no-no. There's no possible way on earth, no conceivable way of condoning his actions there. It's terrible. And the tracks in point are mostly towards the end of the film, and they are got them written down. Remember Us, Return to King, and Message for the Queen. This is basically Leonidas and his 300, the brave 300, have sacrificed themselves on the last day of the Battle of Thermopylae. The Persians have been given, the route to get round behind them by the traitor Ephialtes, the hunchback. In reality, there was a traitor, a goat herder, but then again, back in those days, a lot of Greeks didn't actually believe that fighting the Persians was a good idea, because the Persians were promising wealth and prosperity, and basically, if you pledge allegiance to us, we'll look after you. So a lot of people could have gone over to the side, but of course, it's hailed as the last stand for freedom, and democracy, and we love it, don't we? But yeah, they were betrayed. So a lot of the music from the end of the film, that sacrifice they make at the last stand when they get annihilated, and then David Wenham, who's sort of the scribe and the orator, also a bloody good fighter, but loses an eye. Don't worry, sire. The gods saw fit to bless me with another. And he's like that, I can still fight on. No, you have another skill. Go back and tell him what you saw here, because it will rouse all the rest of the Greek city-states to fight as one, which it does, and it did in reality as well. So he goes back, tells Lena Headey's Queen Gorgo, Leonidas' wife, that sorry, he's not coming back with this shield, and sadly I can't bring him back on his shield either, because his head's been hacked off, because in reality that's what happened. Xerxes, the god king, does have the Spartan leader's head put on a spike. I think you do see that in the sequel actually. But in reality, all the Persians who walked past the site of the massacre, when they saw Leonidas' head on that spike glowering down at them, and they knew how crazy these guys fought and the damage inflicted on them over 3 days of battle, they put their heads down. They couldn't look at him. They didn't spit at it or mock it. They still felt fear from a severed head. And that shows you the power and potency of what Leonidas stood for and could inspire in others. Power, passion, heroism, valour, glory, in some absolute fear and complete terror and dread in others, in the enemies. But yeah, so Tyler Bates lifted a lot of the passionate cues with all this crooning female vocals and sad haunting qualities, and they're beautiful, but they're from Titus. Damn it. So I was going to launch into I still am. There's going to be a bit of a 300 sort of thing for me now. But I thought, let's get that out in the open first. I'm playing the music now. It'd be interesting to see if any kind of YouTube copyright comes down on me. Because what would they cite? Are they going to cite 300 and Tyler Bates? Or are they going to cite Titus and Elliot Goldenthal? Because it's actually his music. I think I started off playing some of that. I can't remember this. But yeah, let's just go back to this, to Victory, where Michael Fassbender and the other lad, who've been homoerotically taunting each other throughout the movie, do a two-man battle into enemy territory. And it's one camera take. I know there's huge CGI backgrounds, but there's lots of combatants. Legs and arms being severed is pure CG, but stuntmen are tumbling all over the show. The camera is revolving around these two, taking out dozens. Got that beat, relentless. A sort of strange, guttural wailing. You've got that crazy sort of Middle Eastern, almost arabesque quality to some of the instrumentation. Oh God, I remember the cinema. I've told you before what I can be like when I'm watching films. The passion gets me. I was out of the seat. I go, sit down. And I was like, I was in slow motion as well. I don't care what critics say. It was just history rewritten. It's a comic book on screen. It is a comic book on screen. It's based on Frank Miller's celebrated graphic novel. Lots of the panels are actually lifted wholesale and put on screen. It looks amazing. The picture's shit. It's all grainy. There's no colour to it. It's awash with burnished gold and bronze. That's the colour scheme. And it's got that artificial grain on it to give it a gritty feel. We're not talking, a Marvel comic here. We're talking Frank Miller's grittiness. I've got a day of work ahead of me. For Sparta! Well, that's an easy choice for us, Athenian. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. Which reminds me, it is now time to have some breakfast. Ready your breakfast, boys, and eat hearty. For tonight, we dine in hell. Go on, Leonidas, we're with you. Folks, so expect some more 300 stuff. I'll discuss that helmet. Actually, I'll discuss it now. NECA made a limited run of, they did the Leonidas helmet with the horsehair plume as well. I haven't got it. I will get it. Well, I'll get it. I don't think they make them anymore, but I can get older one. Now that is just a Spartan soldier's helmet. And limited run, as I say. Now, initially, the first run had two things wrong with it, and I got one from the first run. They realised that, oh hang on, a lot of this first run are damaged, they're scuffed, they're scratched, and paint's come away. So they put a little disclaimer tag on it saying, like, you know, they're meant to look battle damaged, and they do, and it works a treat. It opened it, thought, wow, that's great, but within 2 days it began to crack and blister, and it's brittle. It's like a vinyl over, what do you call it? I don't know what. It's early morning, my memory's crap. Not polystyrene. There's 2 substances that gone in to make this. It does look great, that is wonderful. But as you can see, it is cracked, it is pitted, should be. But what they didn't realise as well, that you're meant to finish these off with like a sort of quality, I don't know what it is, which makes them a little bit harder, more resilient, but also a bit more supple. So these are like an unfinished run, and what happens is they're very, very brittle, which is why they crack and they flake, and when you put it on, it won't really give. I mean, you can wear it, but, and I've had this since 2007 when the film came out. That's when I got this. And me and Mrs. Kilt-Man went to a big fancy dress party in Southport, yes, the old man's paradise of Southport. And you couldn't buy from, like, you know, Smithy's the Spartan costume at the time. You can now, but I managed to cobble it. I know there isn't much of a costume. I had a leather, you know, sort of, you know, jockey pad, you know, some leather undies on. I had some crimson curtains wrapped round me as my cape and my robe. I had great big sort of, you know, Greek style sandal boots on with armour plates down on the shins. I had the spear which you see here, which is from Gladiator. The actual spear from Gladiator. Yeah, I've shown you that before. But it also works an absolute treat for being a Spartan. And I had a prop sword, not a good sword, because at the time I couldn't really get hold of a Spartan facsimile. And anyway, but we won all the awards going. I was massively pumped up as well, because yeah, I was much bigger back in those days, and I was pumped up, helmet on, like the hair was only short at the time, like, but I had a big beard on me as well. I had a Leonidas beard sort of coming down there, like a torpedo sort of thing, like Gerard Butler Sports, and oh my god, it went down. The amount of posing that I did for pictures, oh, it was great, and of course it went straight to my head, didn't it? It was wonderful. But if you look at this now, I'll try and put this on. Right, do you hear that? Oh, look at that. Hey, for Sparta! We're fighting for haggis! The freedom of haggis! And that's the sword of Jason and the Argonauts. Hey, it's all Greek. That now is hurting like hell because they're pushing right in. There's just no give in that helmet at all. But you know, it does look good. And I will get the Leonidas one, the horsehair plume. I'll properly review the movie at some point, but I just wanted to broach the topic because that's massively what I'm into at the moment. The sequel's great too, or rather the sidequel, because the sidequel, Rise of an Empire, tells the story of the sea battle which took place concurrently with the Battle of Thermopylae. Clever, you know, the way they've done it, and I think the 2 films are awesomely great fun. Very aggressive, very macho, very adrenalised. They do tell the story, but they tell it in a sort of fantastical way. And of course, it paved the way for TV shows like Spartacus, Game of Thrones, you know, all that kind of thing. Vikings even. But that sort of vivid style, Zack Snyder, the director, has sadly gone right down in my estimation since then. But I thought 300... Roxy has made an appearance. But she was up a lot earlier. She's had her breakfast. She's had a 3-course breakfast already. And she's been out for a prowl around the grounds. Anyway, folks, look what I found. Too early in the morning? It's never too early. It's for Sparta! Before this day is out, the whole world will know that even the Kilt-Man can drink whiskey before breakfast. Folks, take it easy. Be happy, be safe. We're over 600 subscribers now. That is amazing. It's amazing. There's more stuff coming, as there is. But as I say, work is getting in the way of things now a little bit. So, you know, but I will endeavour to find time. So, folks, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. Fight for freedom, you know. And I'm going to see you all later. Work beckons.